Hello and welcome to Mauritius. I'm the nun who sold her Ferrari and who now has fins. I'm Sonja Lang and it's great having you here in Mauritius. And while we would like to obviously take you on a tour through all the beautiful sites, it's obviously technically not possible. However, what you have is my beautiful view onto the bay. So what is all this nun, Ferrari and fins? I was an investment banker who had a monk-like training in an Indian ashram, returned to the cities and the corporate world to create leadership strategies based on Western and Eastern sciences for the digital VUCA world. And today I'm looking with you at travel and work, or maybe both. So today I will talk about life, work, and the decisions we make, not only for Mauritius, but maybe even about life and work in Mauritius. My mom always said, where there is a will, there is a way. And whatever I did, this thought carried me to making my will become my life. Whether that was climbing a tree as a kid or climbing Mount Kilimanjaro as an adult, or the fascination about a subject, wanting to learn all about it and making it my profession. Where there is a will, there is a way. Yet how do all of us find what that will is? What do I want? That is already a decision, right? A decision-making prerequisite is clarity. In today's VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world, change is the only constant. The changes are big, from the industrial age to the digital age, pre-COVID, and to in, and hopefully soon, post-COVID era. The latter just accelerated the changes from the former. The bad news? Change and humans' unconscious mind don't like each other. The good news? We have so many new possibilities and have options what to do with this change. Humans, respectively their unconscious mind, prefer things unchanged, everything to stay as it is. That's how we have clarity, through the experiences, just being repeated. We can optimize things, processes, and our lives. My old optimization while being in the corporate world was that my commute was a maximum of 15 minutes. Walking 15 minutes. Even the 15 years I lived in London. Nice walks along the Thames to clear my mind in the evenings. In today's world, how do we optimize? Home office. Yet, where actually is home? I, Sonja Lang from Mindful Clarity, I'm originally German. However, some say I'm a nomad, as I lived in 5 countries and 3 continents. Singapore, 15 years in London, Egypt and India. The world is my home. So how do we decide where to have home? Where to work from home? By the way, as I have an online academy, all of you who want to get more about this decision-making, unconscious mind, and all these wonderful things, I give you a 50% discount on all programs from crash course, advanced, and even the masterclass in 2021 when you use EarthConnect as a coupon code on the website mindfulclarity.org. Now, an example. Amazon just announced that their 50,000 Seattle workers can work remotely indefinitely. Amazon has 1.3 million employees worldwide. A lot of it obviously in warehouses where physical presence is still obviously needed. But how many office workers can work from home now? So now we actually have a choice. We can decide. So we're back at decision making. Remember, decision making has a prerequisite of clarity. Decision making is like a math formula or statistics. Understanding the input is important for a good output, right? For those of you who like to transact in the financial markets or those math wizards amongst you, a very brief discourse. I used to be an option trader, and we have the option price formula. It has 7 basic assumptions. All of them are wrong, do not fit the market. So what did we do? Did we abandon the formula? Certainly not. We understood where the challenges lay, where the pitfalls were, and came up in a way how to actually manually adjust to make it work for us, to make it work in the real world. So now we have some program which runs in our unconscious mind, and that helps us to navigate. It's not perfect, but it's damn close, and we can help to make it do what we need it to do, what we want. A real life example from my life, my first decision to move abroad was to move from Germany to Singapore. Singapore had the possibility to live with my partner at the time. And Singapore is a banking hub. So obviously, I would find a great job and even help my career, right? So good for both sides of life, right? One of these should work for me. That both do not work is just such a low probability, we can neglect that. Or at least that's what I thought. It was 1998, just at the end of the Asian crisis. And I was, and I am, a woman. In their perception, real good to have me in the country. Yet not to make money, but just to spend it. Long story short, a career nightmare and the relationship didn't blossom. Some may call it a failure, yet my life would not have been the same without it. The conversations I had with my grandma whenever I did something wrong, and she had warned me beforehand about it. So even when I was a teenager, that conversation with Granny went like this. Granny telling me off, I told you so. And then I would look at her and go like, but Granny, do you love me? And we know there is only one answer to this one, right? It's Grandma after all. So the answer was yes. So you see, Granny, everything I've seen and done in my life, even all my mistakes, made me to the person you love. So obviously, all this, including this one, was really, really good because you love me. So obviously, that's a wonderful way to look at it. And with Singapore, that is where it was. I had left my home country and toured the world, learning so much. I did have an amazing corporate career, just somewhere else, and had an amazing life. And even lay the foundation, not only for that part of my life, but even the basis for this life I live right now. Here, learning never ends. Yet history repeats itself until we learn that lesson. And then we need to reprogram our unconscious mind to a new program to repeat with the learning. So now, fast forward, I moved to Egypt for love again. You remember the 2 areas of life? So guess what? Building my business and private life didn't work exactly how I anticipated it. And yet again, guess what? It again laid the foundation for an essential base of a new and different life. It led me to India, a monk-like training, allowing me to share about and experience holistic life between corporate world, Eastern sciences of mindful clarity, and Western sciences and academics. And the academics, in which I just publishing my new worldview model, basically an extension building on the PIC and the Holonic model, and also my new internal and external leadership model, which comes out on the 15th of November 2021 with the title Leadership After COVID-19. So all of the lives learning and experiencing it, bringing it all together in my life and sharing it with my clients and with you here. A part of it is the decision making. And decision making is only good as, first, we really see our own perception. Perception as perception only. And the motivation of what they are. And yesterday's failure is today's learning and strength. Hence, I work for myself and others on understanding life, will, and the unconscious mind, where the latter is caught in its wishes of repetition. Yet our life and will wants to move forward. How to combine that? Knowing, like with the option formula, the pitfalls of the unconscious mind, a part which wants to steer my emotions and decisions, allows me to even use the unconscious mind's full potential to my conscious wish and benefit. I love the interdependency between the two. By the way, how much do you think is the conscious mind? It was done as a test, actually, with some scientists as well. If this is the mind entirely, think about it. How much do you think is the conscious mind? I'll let you know. Some scientists thought like it was maybe here, everything like that conscious. Some scientists thought, well, consciousness should be in the middle, like here. The truth of the matter is, this tiny bit, this here, that is your conscious mind. And that is why it's super important to understand how all of this actually works and steers you. And clearly, I love this subject because it helps me working to extend basically the keyhole which my conscious mind is, to look into this massive house, even a huge villa of my unconscious mind. And with that, making amazing decisions, like coming to Mauritius. So now let's look at Mauritius. Mauritius was an uninhabited island in the Indian Ocean, reportedly already found by Arabs around 1000. The first confirmed sighting was by the Portuguese. It was first colonized by the Dutch around 1600. And then the French came in, having actually a huge impact onto the local population. And then it became a part of the United Kingdom before becoming independent in the 1960s. Culturally, you see that the official language is actually English in Parliament here. However, everybody is allowed to address the Parliament in French. And if you're going out, you will find that most people actually speak initially Creole, which is very close to French. But everybody is very happy to switch to English as they find out I'm the foreigner. Oh, and another interesting fact, Mauritius is religious, also diverse, and the only African country with Hinduism. As there is no original population, everybody here is from somewhere else. And it's a true melting pot of nationality, race, religion, and a great example of a peaceful living together. For me, the amazing thing about Mauritius is, yes, it has all that tropical island beauty with the turquoise waters and all the oceans and everything which we know about most tropical islands. Yet it also has amazing mountains to hike and nature reserves, forests you can trail. It's almost like a one-stop shop to have everything. Obviously, the water temperature here is about bathtub, and the coral reefs surround the island. I love corals, and please remember not to touch them as they die, and don't take them home, as it makes these stunning white beaches. Obviously, there's plenty of fish as well to see when going out snorkeling or diving. But other than my niece, Leonie, who already at the age of 3 years old learned all types and fishes and their names to impress her father, I don't know fish. In fact, I best have a guide even going into the waters, as back then, famously in Belize, I was swimming around, just snorkeling and really having a wonderful time, seeing the corals, seeing all the fish. And oh, there was a fish just underneath the waterline. So I decided I wanted to actually get there and have a closer look. When the sea guide actually grabbed me at the ankle and stopped me, because with my beautiful shiny necklace from my dear grandma, I was approaching a barracuda whom I was looking at going like, dinner. And he was looking at me going like, dinner. So we agreed, just on different ends. So better before you go into the ocean, make sure you know your fishes. Over here, the swimming with the fishes is a little bit more friendly when swimming with the dolphins. And it's also much more pleasant when doing it than with the 10-degree cold water in New Zealand. Over here, you can do any kind of water sports. It's kayaking, stand-up paddling, and kite surfing is really big here. And it's fabulous. And it's really, really fascinating. Just looking at it, it's exciting and calming at the same time. Yet I also have to admit, so far I've only been watching. Maybe one day I decide. So Mauritius as an island is obviously geared towards tourism, and you find all the spas and massages everywhere. And they do need the foreigners to come back to the island now. As for the last 18 months, the island was closed in order to protect themselves from COVID being brought in by tourists and foreigners. Already on the flight here, I kind of managed with my Living Guard mask, which kills the virus on contact within 4 minutes, some surgical gloves, and many wipes. And also, everybody had to have a negative PCR test before boarding the plane to come to Mauritius. So arriving here, I started first in a beautiful resort for getting first impressions. And then I moved to a villa on the foot of 𝓜𝓪𝓾𝓻𝓲𝓽𝓲𝓾𝓼 mountain and overlooking this beautiful bay here. This is great to work on the terrace, have online coaching sessions, manage my online academy, Mindful Clarity, and it's also great for my yoga practices, giving me a close experience what living here could be like. One thing I already can say, Mauritius is worth a trip. Whether as a tourist or whether to live and work remotely. And as an additional example, how the unconscious mind works as a loyal servant. Yesterday, I didn't even know what to tell you. Yet I instructed the unconscious mind to serve me an idea for breakfast. Et voilà! I hope you enjoyed the tour via the unconscious potential to the conscious decision, across the globe and to Mauritius. Remember, learning never stops. We cannot foresee all options in the future. The world and life is VUCA, fortunately. Making decision needs clarity about the situation, thinking, and the emotions as they are. Making decisions, even when priority gives to emotional factors. Making decisions from a momentary impulse, but after many years, it should have been a worthwhile choice. And 5, Mauritius is worth the trip. Working in paradise right now and today is a joy. But do I want it for a home? Let's decide in a fashion that will be a worthwhile choice for many years. Your reason and lengths to come to Mauritius or anywhere else or anything you do, it is for you to decide. Thank you and goodbye. Enjoy your travels and your life. Goodbye from Mauritius.